Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another Young Saadi unboxing video. Today I'm going to be unboxing a little something special here. We have the Canon EOS Rebel T7i with the 18 to 135 millimeter image stabilized lens. So we're going to be getting into this a little bit here. I went ahead and picked up a memory card for it, and this is just one of the ones that you can like, just real quick on this one, because I'm not going to unbox this because you can see this is it. So it's the 128 gigabyte. It is a if you notice the UHS there, it's just a like SanDisk Ultra. There's Ultra, there's also Extreme, which is a gold card, but the big benefits on the Extreme are that you can do 4K recording, but this camera doesn't do that. It's not really the focus. It's more for just photography, which I knew that going into it. I mean, I have a 4K camera in my phone, so not an issue there. So I went ahead and just got the Ultra, and that's the one I'm going to be using in this camera here. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and pick this up. Now you'll notice I got the 18 to 135 millimeter, so the regular combination that comes with it is the 18 to 55. However, there's a really good sale on this one, good enough to where I wasn't gonna pass it up. And yeah, like the 18 to 55 millimeter lens is good, but it's not great. Like, this can really get to more of the range that I'm looking to do. So very excited, because a lot of the photos, I mean all the photos pretty much, I'm going to be taking for Young Saadi Entertainment, Young Saadi Media, whatever I'm going to land on eventually for calling that, will all be taken from this guy here. So when you see any sort of like, really nice shots from landscape, portrait, like really cool stuff here and there, that's going to be coming from this camera going forward. So, quick look at the box here. You have the camera on the top with some of the information on the kit. And then over here, you have a little more information there. So you have, it's 24 megapixels on the CMOS sensor. It's a 45-point autofocus, which is great because it is a smart autofocus. So it'll actually follow around. Like, it'll move the boxes based on where it thinks that the subject is, which is really nice. Vari angle LCD. A lot of people have been talking about this for the T7i and really the more recent Rebel series. The screen will come out and flip all the way around. This makes it great for anyone who's doing like vlogs or anything like that. We're probably going to use it for the podcast for memes and dreams, but you can essentially flip it outwards so you can see yourself recording on a digital viewfinder. So that's pretty nice. Dual pixel autofocus, which is something Canon just recently put in their cameras. We got EOS Movie Full HD, that's just 1080, but it does run at 60 frames per second, so definitely a smooth frame rate there. It has Wi-Fi and NFC capabilities for syncing to smart devices, iPhones, and Android devices to be able to transfer photos. So, and then the very last thing, Canon Connect. It's just like a Canon peripheral accessory piece. So, on the side here, some information there. On the back side, not a whole lot of, just all the logos and the nonsense. And then this is kind of a breakdown on this side of the contents. We have the camera, the lens, strap, battery charger, battery pack. Interface cable is not included, so for anyone who's hoping to like transfer their photos via a cable, like a USB cable, it doesn't look like that's going to come inside of here, so that's a little lame. But you do have that wireless capability. If you have an SD card adapter to go to USB for your computer, that works as well. I'm going to start off with just transferring them over Wi-Fi, but I think eventually I'll be getting an adapter so that I can just use it with SD cards. Plug right into the Mac computer. And yeah, there we go. So, and then the bottom is the bottom. Nothing fancy going on there. It's, that sucks. But up top is where all the action is, so we're just gonna go right back there and go ahead and get started. So without further ado, this is going to be the Canon T7i unboxing. Let's go ahead and get started here. Beep. Bye. No, I'm kidding. All right, so we're gonna open this up here and then give a little, here we go. All right, so I'm bring this in a little bit, and then just so I can open that up all the way without hitting my mic. So, right off the bat here, we have the, let's see here, remarks. Okay, all right. And then we have more remarks, so that's fun, it's exciting. Oh wow, limited warranty information. That's all cool. Okay, that's fun. And I guess it's got like, it's really just the guarantee information. Okay, cool. So that's that. And then we have a real thick boy over here. Real hefty instruction manual, which it makes sense because there are a lot of different modes. There's a lot of different ways to shoot. Obviously, this isn't going to cover everything in photography. It's just going to cover like the specifics of the camera. Now, I know you'll probably notice here it says 800D. That's the other name for this camera. So the T7i is more of like the yeah, so cool. No, the T7i is more of the like, it's like the display name, you know, and then 800D is more the technical name that they gave it through Canon. It can be referred to as either, but yeah, just some pretty basic general stuff there. This thing was clunking around in the box, so if you pick one of these up and the box seems wobbly, it's just this thing. They didn't really put anywhere to like put it down in one spot so it slides around, and it's like I said, it's a thick boy, so you know, keep that in mind. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And then register your camera, so registration information. I'll take a peek at that a little later, but I'm not in any real rush to do that. I think that's all the terms and conditions. Don't eat the camera, don't eat the lens, don't eat the strap. They're not for eating, they're for pictures. And then when you take the pictures, you can like sell them, you can share them, but you can't eat them. So now we know. So let's go ahead and put this up a little bit here. Okay, all right. I'm going to tilt it just a little bit here. So I'm going to open this up here. There we go. Oh, wowie. Okie dokie. Now I got the goods, you know. We got the real meat and potatoes. So first thing that just pops out here, and obviously the first thing I'm going to be picking up is the camera strap. This is classic. It's just a classic Canon. Like, you know it when you see it, and when you have people like, you know, hanging their Canon cameras around their neck, just walking around being photographers, you can tell because you get that signature red line on both sides there, Canon, and you know, it's a pretty snazzy thing there. So I'm not gonna get too much into this. You all know what a strap looks like. See you. That goes over there. Now, next up, I'm gonna bring this guy out. Okay, cool. So what this is, what we have here is pretty much the battery. Yep, battery charger. Nothing super crazy there. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, it's just the battery charger. So you'll see this part here for like the plug. This is US plugs, obviously. Flips out, and then you plug it right in. And then the battery comes here. Now, it's always recommended that you get an additional battery. I didn't right now, but I will later on, as soon as possible, really. Because the, you know, having an extra battery while you're shooting is like a kind of a game changer, because you can't really, this isn't going to be as, you know, it's not portable, it's just at home. So if you have like an additional battery, you can keep both of them charged up. When one dies, you flip out the other one. But this is what you'll use to charge that stuff there. Fuels. Okay. And then also right here, we have the battery itself. Pretty, you know, pretty straightforward. The one that it uses for the T7i Rebel camera, that's going to be the LP. I'm trying to get it real close. See if it focuses on this here. Maybe possibly. There we go. The LPE17. That's the model number of battery you want to look for the Canon T7i. LPE17, in case you want to pick up an extra battery. Focusing back in on the box here. And there we go. So that's the battery. And I'm going to guess, wild crazy guess, that this bigger thing is the body and the smaller thing is the lens. So what I want to do is take out the lens first, take a peek at that, and then connect it to the body so you can get the full view here. So let's go ahead and open this up here. Alright, this right here. We'll throw that over there on the floor. And we'll open this up as well. Okay. Warning, don't eat the bag. Don't try and eat the bag, because you might choke on the bag if you try to eat the bag. Also, don't give this bag to children. Keep children away from any of this, because it's very expensive, and it's not okay to have around children who could break it. So, it says all that in orange. Okay, so, wowie. Okay, cool. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Alright, so You got the EFS 18 to 135 millimeter, and you'll have the little marks here where you can find your range. It's image stabilized, so it will have a good stabilizer for any like zoomed in shots or video. And then it shows you how much of like macro capability it has here. It's like in focus maybe this right here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 0.39 to 1.3 feet. So kind of like I don't know, like let's take it for what you will for the people who shoot macro. I don't shoot macro, so I don't really know. It's my first camera, by the way, so I don't know what that means. But full disclosure, I don't. But I'll do some more research on that as I start taking closer shots, because I do know that that's macro stuff, but in terms of what this actually refers to and how to utilize it. So on this side, right here, there you go. Autofocus versus manual focus, you'll be able to switch that back and forth. And then the stabilizer you can turn off if you'd like to. Now this is with the lens. I think one of the big reasons here is that when doing like a stabilizer on, it might also use an additional battery. I mean, the lens is powered in this way, so this is if you want to turn it off. I don't know, like I wouldn't turn it off for most of the time, but I guess if you have it on tripod or there's special circumstances where you have to turn it off for the type of shot you want to get, that's the way to do it right there. This is like a little release button, I'm pretty sure, that little white box there. Nope, that's the lock right there. I don't know what this is actually, but you got it right there for, white box purposes, so that's good. Really worried about that for a second, but luckily we have the little white box there, little square, so that's good. Thank goodness. Okay, and then yeah, the lock right here for the lens. Maybe this is the release and this just locks it? I don't know. I'll find out like here in a second. And then right here you have the lens cap. So you just pinch it right in the middle, and then that'll open it up right there. You'll have all the information like all around the sides of the lens here. I'll close that right back up there. Okay, perfect. And then yeah, if we twist this guy here, maybe. Oh, is that the lock? Is it for that? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know about that. So this locks. Okay, so this should be the release then. Pretty positive this stupid white square right here is the release. This seems to lock the actual zoom. So I wonder if I can zoom and lock it in place. Okay, it's locked right now. Yep, and then no. Can it? Nope. So it has to be closed. Then you can lock it. So it doesn't like zoom out on its own from being moved on this grip right here. So that's pretty cool. So unlock it, zoom in. That's the full zoom right there, like this like full range of how it physically goes out. And then just clamp that back up. I'll lock this in place because I like that feature a lot now. And then this right here, this little other grip is manual focus. So you'll be able to focus in and out of shots by like adjusting this based on, once again, how you're shooting. Keep that in mind for a lot of this. So for this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and put it here on the side. This is where it connects, by the way. You twist this off. Oh my god, that was super easy to do. Okay, and then you'll be able to put it on the camera. So leave that there for now. And time for the main show here. So we're gonna click on that there to focus. Okay, cool. So go ahead and bring the body up, and then pretty much everything in there. So that's super duper. So I'm gonna get this out of the way here. Scoop. Okay, so now we have this guy, and we'll focus in a little bit. Go ahead and get the body. This is the body of the camera, the Canon T7i. Scoop. Out, and then like another piece of wrapping there, which is good. I like a lot of care on my camera, especially considering it is a big boy. So we got this right here. Oh wow, look at that, look at that. So would you just look at it? Okay, so yeah, so here we have it, the Canon EOS Rebel T7i. Let's focus in on that. Yeah, you need some of that, because you can see like just the detail in the grip here and over here. Like it's definitely, it feels like a sturdy camera. It also feels like one's going to give you a lot of benefits in terms of the usability and just the design It's a great design. I've always loved it, and I'm glad they didn't change it much from the early days of the Rebel series. So this is kind of a look at the all around here. So we have back, front, top, bottom, and then side 1 and side 2. Cool, thanks for watching the video. No, I'm kidding, I'm gonna stop doing that. So, let's take a look at the back first here. So, you'll see, I'm gonna focus in a little bit. You'll see that, you know, we have a bunch of the different options here. Now, I know what some of these mean. I don't know what all of them mean. Once again, this is my introduction to photography. But, for the people who know what it means, there's that stuff. But people who don't know what it means, I would suggest going to, as a matter of fact, if you stay tuned at the end of the video, have a book I want to recommend. I don't like read a lot of books, but this one's been phenomenal and I can't recommend it enough, especially for people who are looking to be just step up their photography game. It's a great book to have, so I'll recommend it here at the very end, and I'll talk a little bit about it. But anyway, so some of those features there, you can kind of see over here. You just like switch between digital and like the optical viewfinders, right? Menu, info, and then like a lot of these. This is probably the wireless button. Burst over here, playback, autofocus options, trash to delete a file, stuff like that. Zoom. I think this is zoom on. It's a different kind. It's like zoom on the playback photo. I believe the blue ones should signify like, hey, you took this picture already. Do you want to do like, do you want to zoom into it, or do you want to like check them out, or you know? So you'll have those options right up there. Now, the display itself, we're gonna go ahead and just flag it out here, and you'll feel there's a little. You feel it unclick whenever you do it from like right here. So that's really nice kind of feature there. So then there's the, oh hey, look at that. You can see right up my nose. So, yeah, the display there, it is a touchscreen, which is really cool. So you get like a nice, like, it's easy to navigate, like, because Canon already has a really nice user interface on their cameras, but having a touchscreen on here is going to make it all the more, like, worthwhile, because you'll be able to just navigate this way, instead of having to use, like, the other buttons on the camera to do that. And then you'll see, like, this guy will turn, boop, all the way. I wonder if it goes, nope, it stops right there. Good, okay, so you can't, like, go all the way through. It's a swivel that stops right there to where it can be facing you, right? But then, like, you can adjust the angle based on, like, how you need it to be, you know. Like, any main angle you can think of, you can do that. So if I wanted to, like, switch it and then put it back, so now I have this screen on the back as it typically would be with different cameras. At the very top, we have the, let's see, I believe this is called the hood. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I guess. But once this is the hood, this is where you put your flash. You have the flash, like a built-in flash right here, pops out, but up here you can put like an external flash that will give a lot more power, and typically will have its own battery in it to be able to supply like efficient lighting based on what kind of shots you're going to be doing. So let me just bring this in a little closer here, and we'll do it from this side. So you have the, this is probably an indicator for wireless capability. This is strap connector, and then right here you have all the different modes. Everything, if you're familiar with the DSLR, you'll notice everything is pretty familiar here. And once again, the book I'm going to mention at the end, it really talks about like a lot of the more important parts of this scroll wheel versus the not so important parts of this scroll wheel. So something to know about. On and off right there, of course, and the batteries inside of it, and then a couple other options for the ISO, on the lighting, you know, display, I think style. I want to look at that more. I'm pretty sure this would be autofocus for the points, but you know, I have to mess around with that a little more. Here's your shutter button, so you'll be able to, you know, with these you hold them halfway before you take the picture to focus in, if you have autofocus on, or just to prep the shot. It's a good practice, and then you just press it all the way to take the picture. Pretty self-explanatory. This guy, I honestly don't know what this is. This might be for changing the ISO as well, like on the fly, or maybe the f-stop. I'll double check that, but you know, once again, for everyone who knows what this is, and you know, it's like, wow, what if I'm an idiot? Then this is that thing. And then the people who don't, like, hey, welcome to the club. It's, you know, young Saadi's hanging out in here. So that's cool. But anyway, so that's the top, right? and get a good look at that there. And then on this side here, you have okay, so this is where you have your microphone input, and let's open this up here. So you can use a mic with it, but the big thing here is there's no headphone jack. So if you're trying to use like monitor headphones at the same time as recording like video, it's gonna be a little more tricky there because you won't be able to do it from here. But yeah, this would be a connection to like microphones here on the side. If you open up this, that's the little like NFC icon, you can kind of see right there. And then if you open this guy up here, zoom in right there, yep. Cool. You'll have a mini HDMI out, sorry, right there, and then a really old school USB, like, I think this is a mini, not even a micro, this is a mini USB connection. So that's for the interface cable, but like I said, just get an adapter for an SD card. It's probably gonna be the best option. I think that's speaker or mic, one of the two, maybe both, I don't know. It doesn't really matter because the speaker, or like the speaker and mic wouldn't matter on this because it's going to be for photography. If you're using it for videos, that's great, but don't rely on whatever that is. Obviously, use your externals and your, peripherals. So right here, you have your camera card slot. You just push down, out, and it opens right up. And this will fit a standard sized SD card. So if it's like a micro SD, you got to put it in an adapter. If it's compact flash, don't even think about it. Don't even mess with this camera if you're using compact flash anyway. But standard SD, like I said, I got the Ultra, and it's gonna, that read and write speed is gonna work out just fine for me. Click, and then top, we do the back. Now let's do the front, and then we'll do the bottom. So the front here is very straightforward. It's just, this is the release. That's the release for the lens. So I don't know what that white square is. Once again, if you know what the white square is, share it in the comments. But, people who don't know what it is, white square. Boom, there it is. I don't know. Now I'm going to Google it, but it's not going to be in the video. But maybe I'll put it in the description, I guess. Sure. So anyway, yeah, so you have the lens release right there. This is same thing. It's kind of a little, little cover, the sensor, right? Okay. Don't want to leave that exposed for too long, as dust can get in and on it and just give you trouble with your shots, and that's not easy to clean because it's a freaking sensor. But yeah, so there's this Rebel T7i. So the logo right there we saw a little earlier. That might be the microphone, and then the speaker over here. Once again, not a huge deal, shouldn't be a big deal here. And I want to say an indicator light right over there. So, lastly, the very bottom here, you have the attachment area for a tripod, right there, a little screw. And you can leave the tripod piece on the actual camera. You don't have to and that way you can just go to the tripod and connect it with an easier tripod connection, while the bottom here is still covered with that little square tripod adapter piece. So look out for those. Manfrotto does a really good job with that, among a few others for their tripods. And then lastly, the battery spot here. You push it this way and then open it up that way. You got the battery space right in there for the rechargeable battery. So that's there. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get this connected here. I'm gonna bring this, and it's gonna bring in that. Okay, cool. And then yeah, let's do it. So, let's open this guy up here. Open that bridge over here. Okay, I'm nervous. I don't like looking at the sensor of my camera. It always made me nervous. Like in other cameras that I got to hold and look at for DSLRs. And this little guy here, so I'm going to try to drop and break my camera like immediately. Okay, so there's actually, the white squares to line it up. That's genius. I feel so stupid. Okay, so I think it starts out white square to white square on the camera. That's how you'll know to line it up. And then you twist it until you feel it click. Just like that. Wow. And then lens release. You can push it down and then twist it back out. Just take it out. So once again, white square on right there and then right here. So so you'll know exactly where to line it up. That way you don't spend a whole bunch of time like messing up your setup. And then righty-tighty, you'll feel it click right into place. And so this would be the guy all together here. Take that lock off. Boop. So, boom. That is the fully extended situation there. I'm gonna close that back up. And then we're gonna lock that right back in place once again. Really big fan of that feature. Keeps you from accidentally zooming. And then, yeah. So, kind of look from the side here. Okay, from the top. Okay, from the other side. From the fronts, kind of you'd be looking at all together. It's a bit larger, but really not too bad for 18 to 135. That's a lot more range with not that much more lens, so that's pretty cool. And then, yeah. So, this will be about it here. Probably gonna turn it on later and take some pictures, and you'll see that posted up on my Twitter. Time for shameless plug. So I'm gonna put this right down here. And I'm going to tap on it, get a little bit of focus. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you have not gotten a chance to, please check out all of the different sites that I am a part of. So you can find me on Twitter and, of course, YouTube, where this video is being posted. And you can also find me on Instagram. So my Twitter is @YoungSaadi. That's YUNG. SAADI. On YouTube, you can just search Young Saadi, and then on Instagram, it's once again it's @YoungSaadi, YUNGSAADI. My Instagram is mainly my music, among a few other things, but mainly it's just music. YouTube is unboxing videos, clips from my streams, just some stuff along those lines. And then on Twitter, you'll get stream times and updates for when I play different video games in the game. But also like photos I post to like Young Saadi, and photos or videos that I post, I'll put on that Twitter as well. But yeah, so those are the things to know. This has been the review of the Canon T7i Rebel series, and that's really cool. They fit together. That's cool. That's a great way to it's the user interface for this and just the ease of use overall, the durability. I do recommend Canon typically over Nikon, but that's just personal preference. I'm sure they're both great. I'm just a bigger fan of the interface on Canon cameras because they're easier to navigate. So for a beginner camera, this is a phenomenal choice here. Mid-range, pretty good choice. Higher range from there, you probably want to do a higher level camera, but I mean, this is a fantastic DSLR, that being said. So that's been the review, and a little bonus here, and this, I want to recommend to everybody this book right here. So, pretty straightforward. Read this if you want to take some great photographs. Now, you can't see the name that well here. I'm up right here. This is by Henry Carroll. See right there. Yeah, there you go. Henry Carroll. On the front, it's like you can kind of see it in the light there. This is just embossed, engraved. One of those two, it's in there. But yeah, read this if you want to take great photographs. It's a great book. It's not a super thick read, but this pretty much explains it all. No scary graphs, no techie diagrams, no camera club jargon. Read this if you want to take great photographs. Walks you through the fundamentals of composition, exposure, light, lenses, and the all-important art of seeing without drowning you in technobabble. Ideal for users of DSLR, and then like a bunch of different cameras here. This is, that really just covers it. It's a great book that goes through it shows you photos, examples of what kind of technique it is, and then just gives you a rule of thumb. And it also talks about some of the different modes on DSLR cameras so you can get more comfortable with them. And it's just a very broad strokes rundown, but it helps a bunch. So I'm almost halfway through. I do highly recommend this book. You can pick it up wherever. I got it through Amazon, but yeah, fantastic thing to check out if you are interested in photography and you want to know more. So that'll about do it for me. So once again, and the last time, this has been the Canon EOS Rebel Series T7i DSLR camera. And if you like this unboxing, or you like, you know, my bad jokes, or, you know, just my voice, then, you know, feel free to follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube by just simply searching Young Saadi, YUNG SAADI, and you will see more of my content. I have an album coming out pretty soon on the music side. I'm going to be streaming some brand new video games on that side, and I'm always going to continue doing unboxing videos when I pick up something that's, that's worth it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call it right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.